Hey, and it is our final wine club release of the year. We're coming to you from our production facility right outside of our crush pad because we're in the middle of harvest.
We're in it, and this is the sprint at the end. And I got to tell you, Shay and I, we were doing harvest in October, and we've had unseasonably warm weather, like 78, sunny 78. We're out here in shorts, t-shirts, and then sunglasses, right? I haven't put on sunscreen. It's like, harvest is great. Like, this is like, I could do harvest all harvest long. And we're like moseying along, and then all of a sudden, we got a little taste of fall weather from old Mother Nature, and about 3 days ago, it is, if I flip this camera around, it is cloudy, rainy, windy. And so now you can
I've got Carhartts on. I was gonna show you, I have Carhartts, I've got a toboggan on. It's not the greatest weather to be working. Actually, I'm a little nervous about going out there in that crush pad and crushing into stemming today.
It's scary out there. But yeah, we are fair. I think we're fair weather winemakers. That's for sure. It's so much better when it's nice outside. But hey, right, it's you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, we're gonna turn some music on a little bit, and we have some fruit coming in today. We have, what do we have coming in today?
We got a big day, hence the sprint to the end. It's like, we're done with this cold weather, let's go. So we got Quintessence Cab Franc, Quintessence Cabernet Sauvignon, we have Scutiny Cab Franc, and Scutiny Malbec. So about 12 ton total.
So 12 tons coming in today we'll be working on. We're also going to start inoculation on our rosé, which we brought that fruit in and crushed into stems and pressed it off so that rosé is in tank right now. We gave it just a couple days to settle, and we'll start the fermentation process so that we can have a beautiful dry rosé for the sachet rosé. But that's not what okay, so thank you so much for listening to the first part of this while we talk about harvest. Yes, let us vent about, and we literally are looking outside on the crush pad. And so I'm just looking at the vines that sit right across or right off of the crush pad. And I mean, the wind is shaking the trellis like crazy. So it's kind of cool just being covered just for a little bit.
It's nice to be inside.
Let's talk about the wines for the final release of the year. So we are proud to share with you the November wines. We call this the winter release for our Signature Cru, which you are a part of. You get 2 bottles of wine every quarter. And the months that we release it in would be March, May, September, and November. So we have the November wines coming up. And the theme for November, although we're going into the holidays and we're going into cooler weather, the theme is Magical Merlot.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Magical Merlot.
Magical Merlot. And so for both these wines, because we like for your wines to tell a story, we have Merlot that tends to go really, really well as we're getting into the season for stews. We're getting into hosting parties and sharing wines. So the first bottle that's in that release is a 2020 100% Merlot. We call it the 2020 Red Mountain Merlot. And this is bright and bursting with red fruit. I mean, it's gorgeously youthful and very, very, very smooth. We were kind of pouring and showing this wine off for a little bit, and folks in our tasting room were absolutely loving it. So 100% Merlot. It does come from 2 vineyards, though. You probably heard us talk about Scutiny Flats before. That vineyard's just right across the street from us. And the other vineyard we get the Merlot from is Quintessence. Although we do age the Merlot from those 2 vineyards in their own barrels for about 2 years. We do blend them together right before we bottle because those vineyards, the Merlot from those vineyards tend to marry really, really well and create such a great wine. The 2020 Red Mountain Merlot.
Yes, and after that is the Reserve. I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times, but this is the Reserve because this is what Shay and I like to drink. And this is the first blend that we put together every year because we have a pretty limited inventory of new French oak aged wine. And that's all from Scutiny Flats. And so we want to build our favorite blend first. I'm going to do something that we've never done before. I want to go over to the camera and I'm going to show them the blending bar.
Do it. Show it. Okay. Show it off.
Here we go.
I'll stand right here and look out at the wind.
Here it comes, panning in from the right. Let's see if we can get on there. So this is a blend of about 40% Merlot. It's actually 38% Merlot. So equal parts Merlot, Cab, and then equal parts Cab Franc, Malbec, and the Petit Verdot. Back to you, Shay.
Well, can I talk about when we were making this one? Because usually when we make, when we're blending the reserve blend, gosh, in the past few years, it hasn't taken us long to blend this wine. We usually we start with Merlot because it's usually Merlot heavy. And then we, almost like cooking, where you're just kind of putting other things in that you think will make a harmonious and flavorful dish. That's kind of how we make this. So we start with Merlot, and then we add Cab, we add Petit Verdot, we add Malbec, we add Cab Franc. And usually we nail it. I would say in less than 30 minutes, we put that blend together.
This one wasn't easy. It was tough.
This one was an all-day thing. Like all day, because we did the typical, we put it together, and we are high-fiving before we even try the wine, because we're like, yeah, we've got it. And we taste it, we're like, something doesn't just gel perfectly for this. And so we went back to the drawing board, tried different percentages of things, kept tasting through barrels, new used oak barrels, once used that we had wine in, and we just, we weren't hitting the perfect blend. And so we took a little bit of a break from it and kept coming back. But it was a process for this one. Incredibly proud of it, though. I think it's one of the best reserves we've made.
Yep, absolutely.
What would you pair it with?
What would I pair this with? I think what we just had the other night, which was we had the dinner at
the ribeye.
The ribeye.
We were at the Glass House,
Yes,
yeah.
For the charity event.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, ribeye is just...
anything off the grill, this is going to be a slam dunk with.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, can I say one more thing about the packaging this year?
Sure. Oh, yeah, go for it.
So one thing that you're going to notice different this year is due to the old supply chain issue, #supply chain, where there's no more capsules. So when you get it, you're going to see the little top is not on there, but what we did add to the cork is the year. So you got the little swirly F on there with the vintage. So when you walk into your cellar, you can see your glasses. You can see what it is.
I know. For me, I was just like, what vintage is that?
Right.
Yeah. But I do think that's really cool. So for those of you that are storing our wines, and you have these in your cellar, you're probably storing them this way to keep the wine in contact with the cork. And so it just makes the wine easier to identify. Instead of having the capsule that it's covering the cork, we decided to print directly on the cork. Not only do we go without capsules, we also went to a lighter bottle.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so I think that was cool. It was one of the things that we wanted to do, not only from a sustainability standpoint, but we looked at pricing. So so many things just got really expensive for us. Our fruit, barrels, capsules, corks, packaging, things were just super expensive. So we looked at what are the things that we can do to maintain cost of our wines for our wine club members. And so that meant going to more cost-effective glass. That meant even swapping out, being more mindful cost of labeling, and just working closer with our printer to still make sure that we can get a beautiful label, but it doesn't cost us as much, and going without the capsule. So we were able to maintain the same pricing for these. Some of our other wines that were already more expensive to get, they went up $2, $3 or something like that. But I'm happy to say that these are same pricing as they've been. And we'll get out there in the wind and make some more amazing wines.
It's going to be a great day.
We want to say happy holidays to you. Enjoy these wines, share them with family and friends, and be safe, be joyful, and know that we appreciate you being a part of our wine club family here at Frechette. So happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Cheers.
Cheers.